coming up tonight on Primetime Local News.
Talk was just way too far off, so the mediator left, and we're really at like a standpoint right now.
Canada Post workers in Lloydminster continue picketing on. And the Rock and Gem show takes place in the border city. Plus our weekly edition of What's Happening.
Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The Canada Post strike has just about entered its third week. So far, little progress has been made between Canada Post and the Canadian Union of Postal Workers. Local postal workers in Lloyd say a mediator was sent out to negotiate with each individual worker, but no agreement was reached.
A mediator came in, talked to everybody individually, and everybody's talk was just way too far off. So the mediator left, and we're really at like a standpoint right now. The government has decided not to get involved to legislate us back to work as of yet because they really want a collective agreement before they do so.
As the strike continues, Canada Post has been temporarily laying off striking employees. So far, no permanent employee has been laid off in Lloyd, but one worker in a temporary position was let go.
No layoffs here for our employees, but temporary backfill has been terminated. So someone who is a temporary worker was in a full-time position, and now when they come back, they will not have that position. We probably will grieve it and try to get that position back for them. Now, when they come back, they're just not guaranteed any hours, and that's not really a positive place for that employee.
With Christmas getting closer each day, postal workers are hoping that a fair and reasonable deal is reached soon. Lloydminster has recently applied for a grant with the money planned to go towards making intersection improvements in the city. The Alberta Local Growth and Sustainability Grant is given by the province to local municipalities across Alberta. Lloydminster is hopeful to use their portion to improve certain roadways in the city.
Some road work that needs to be done in our city. We're seeing more and more activity on 12th and 75th, and we're applying for some grant money for that road work that needs to be done. We're competing, like I say, from various cities that are growing, and they're growing leaps and bounds across Alberta like ourselves.
Alberta has handed out over $60 million to rural areas and Lloydminster is requesting $1.4 million for their road enhancements.
Access some provincial government money to help cover some of that cost if our grant is successful. We'll be competing, like I say, with a lot of other cities, but we believe, as administration brought forward, this is the best application that fits the grant criteria that we can put to use.
The 12th Street and 75th Ave intersection improvements will return to council at a later date. The Rock and Gem show was held at the Exhibition Association today, and we took a further look on what you can expect at the event. The Rock and Gem show has no shortage of beautiful and mesmerizing gems. The host of the event, Silver Cove, hosts a wide range of these shows across Canada.
Well, the Silver Cove started about 20 years ago out of our basement. And now we host 36 gem and mineral shows a year, and we go all across Canada. So we really try, when we come into town, we try and support a lot of the local gem enthusiasts in the areas as well as small businesses. That's kind of what we really strive for. So when we come to Lloyd, we really try and bring a larger selection of gems you wouldn't normally see with just a typical farmer's market setup.
From rocks to minerals to crystals, anything in the gem and mineral industry is assured to be at the event. The source of the gems are not only from Canada, but all parts of the world.
Brazil, Madagascar, China, I even have a little bit of stuff here from Russia, lots from the United States, from all over the globe. This room really does encompass miners' work, hard work from all over the world that you get to see through the doors. And Lloydminster of all the places, right? Doesn't matter if you're a farmer on a combine picking up a rock as you get out of your tractor, or you are a stay-at-home mother that likes to bead. I find everybody has some kind of fascination with rocks. And I find everybody has that spark.
The event will be open throughout the weekend from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Big Sugar rocks the Vic Juba Community Theater, and the Potters Guild is hosting their winter sale this weekend. Heather Klages has the latest in this week's edition of What's Happening.
The Vic Juba Community Theater is going to be rocking tomorrow night as Big Sugar takes to the stage. They're out on their 500 Pounds tour, and they're going to play that album live, plus some of their big hits and fan favorites as well. Maybe one of your favorites is Digging a Hole or Turn the Lights Out. It's going to be a fantastic show coming up tomorrow night right here at the Vic Juba Community Theater with the Big Sugar. And for all the details on that show and other great shows that are coming to the Vic Juba Community Theater, make sure you head online, vicjubatheater.ca. There's so much talent, so many great artists in our community, and you've got a chance to meet some artisans coming up on Sunday. The Lloydminster Potters Guild, they're hosting their winter sale at the Lloydminster Museum and Archives. This is a great opportunity to take a look at some unique handmade items. Plus, it's an opportunity to meet the local artisans as well. Great place to shop local, support local, and pick out a really unique, a really great Christmas gift for somebody special on your list. The Lloydminster Potters Guild, their annual winter sale, it's coming up this Sunday at the Lloydminster Museum and Archives from 10 until 3. You can help bring Christmas cheer to people in our community by making a donation tomorrow to the second annual First Responders Kickoff to Christmas. You're going to see members of the Lloydminster RCMP and other first responders at different locations throughout the city, and you can make a donation of a non-perishable food item or a new toy, and those donations will go to the Olive Tree and to the Salvation Army to support our community. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
We've officially made it to the end of what I think most of us can agree has been the coldest week of the season so far.
That's right. Yeah, it's definitely probably is the coldest. Yeah. And it's looks like maybe next week we will see a few warmer days at the start. So
thankfully,
this is kind of the cold block that we have, and we'll have a little bit of warm, and then it will resume. But we are getting a little break. But for now, it is still minus 22 in Lloydminster right now. That wind is making it feel more like minus 29. A few clouds out today here, but overall, not as bad of a day as we've previously had. That wind hasn't made it feel like minus 30. You can see everywhere is kind of about the same in Alberta right now. Cold Lake minus 22, Lac La Biche, Bonnyville, Marwayne, and Provost all minus 20. St. Paul, Vermilion, and Wainwright all minus 19. Vegreville minus 18, and Edmonton minus 16. Over in Saskatchewan, again the same story on the opposite side of the border. Isle La Crosse and Green Lake both minus 22. Pierceland minus 21, St. Walburg minus 22, Meadow Lake and Maidstone both minus 23, Macklin minus 20, and North Battleford minus 25. Tonight in North Battleford, it's going to get down to minus 28. It will be very cold with a little snow, but that snow is not going to accumulate at all, and that wind will be at 11 kilometers an hour. Now tomorrow in North Battleford, it's going to get up to minus 19. Again, same story. That snow will accumulate a little bit, just to about 1 centimeter, 13 kilometer an hour winds, so that snow might blow around a little bit. But overall, not the coldest day North Battleford has seen thus far. Cold Lake tonight will be minus 24, very cold, with snow accumulating a little bit, 2 to 4 centimeters, and 11 kilometer an hour winds. Surely that will make that minus 24 feel a little bit cooler than it really is. Now tomorrow in Cold Lake, it will be minus 17. Very cold in Cold Lake once again, with a little snow at times accumulating up to an additional centimeter. So between today and tomorrow, about 5 centimeters of snow in Cold Lake, 9 kilometer an hour winds. Tonight in Lloydminster, it's going to be minus 24, very cold, with snow accumulating to about 1 to 3 centimeters and 13 kilometer an hour winds. Maybe not the nicest night we've had in the border city thus far. Definitely a bit of a cooler one. Now tomorrow in Lloyd, it's going to be a cloudy day throughout at 6 a.m. it's going to be minus 22, and then at noon, it's going to warm up a little bit to minus 20. That's going to continue until 6 p.m. and midnight as well. That wind is also going to stay at about the same. It's going to be blowing 11 kilometers an hour southeast at 6 a.m., and then it will blow 9 kilometers an hour throughout the rest of the day, just kind of changing directions. Now, taking a look at your 3-day forecast, tomorrow is going to be cloudy and very cold with a high of minus 19 and a low of minus 25. Sunday is going to be mostly cloudy and very cold with a high of minus 20. And Monday is where we're going to start to see things warm up, not as cold with low clouds, and that high is going to be minus 8. We're going to take a look at some more news after the break.
The 10th annual Parade of Lights is taking place in a couple of weeks and are looking for volunteers to help out for the evening. Abby St. John has more on this year's parade and how you can help.
I'm happy to be joined here today by Ryan LeBlanc. He is the founder of the Parade of Lights. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, now this year will mark the 10th annual Parade of Lights, which is incredible. And for those who may not know, what is the Parade of Lights?
Yeah, the Parade of Lights gives the opportunity for local businesses and surrounding community businesses and residents to decorate their vehicles and come downtown Lloydminster and showcase them down the highway. So we're looking forward to this year again and to see all the unique designs that people come up with.
For this year, what can people expect to see from the businesses that are participating? Anything new that we can expect, or maybe some hints as to what they may look like?
You know, it's interesting. Every year there's people that come up with some new ideas and some new designs, and it's always exciting to see kind of what these businesses come up with and what people come up with. So we're excited as much as everybody else to see kind of some of the new floats that are put together, and people get pretty creative. So I think it's a good time of year for people to come together, and it's a good team building exercise to decorate your entries, and the kids, they just get a whole bunch of joy out of it, and it's just awesome to see.
That's so exciting, and I'm sure the different floats are going to look amazing. Now, on Facebook, you have been asking for volunteers for the evening. What are you looking for in terms of volunteers? And for those who are interested, what is the best way to go about contacting you?
So we're looking for volunteers to help with our barricades this year again. So they simply put the barricade. The barricade will be there already. They just need to put it into place about 10 minutes before the parade starts. But we'll communicate that to the volunteers what we're looking for, and then simply just take it down, put it back where they found it when the parade's done. So we need all the intersections covered, and it's a big part of the parade that night where those volunteers. Without them, we can't do it. So to have those people in place to help us, it's imperative. So they can get a hold of us through our social media pages. They can call us at 780-872-9039, and just let us know they're willing to help, and we'll assign them an intersection and the instructions on what to do.
And for the attendees, where is the parade route, or where can they find that information?
Yeah, so we'll be posting the map. I think we've had it on our social media already, but we'll be posting it again here. The map, but we start on Highway 17 and 56th Street, all the way on the north side of Lloyd there, and then we come down on Highway 17 all the way to 46th Street, and just north of KFC there, and then we turn east. We go on 46th Street over to 49th Ave, and then back north past the movie theater and back into the Lloyd X parking lot. So it's yeah, line up anywhere along the road. There's no bad place. You get to see all the floats no matter where you sit there. So it's going to be an exciting night.
Yes, it does sound like that. And for those who want to attend, when is it taking place and what time does it start?
Yeah, so December 19th, Thursday. It's the Thursday before Christmas. Parade's going to kick off right at 7 o'clock p.m. sharp. and typically takes just over an hour for the parade to go through. So we're excited, and this year we're raising money again for the three nonprofits: the Lloydminster Exhibition Association, Lloydminster Rescue Squad, and Lloydminster Region Health Foundation. The money that we do raise will be split evenly there, and then we're also collecting toys for the Lloydminster Sexual Assault Services. So those can be dropped off at the Lloyd X.
For the toy portion, what condition are you looking for? Brand new, slightly used, for those who would like to donate?
Yeah, just new toys if possible, unopened toys, so that they go into a new place with sexual assault services there, and they're able to do their service. And yeah, like I said, we can drop them off at the Lloyd X, and everything's greatly appreciated.
Wonderful. Well, this year's event sounds like it's going to be amazing. So thank you so much for joining me. And I wish you the best of luck for the 10th annual Parade of Lights.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Synergy Credit Union has selected its new CEO. Stacey Comer has more with the person who will be stepping into the role.
I have a special guest today on Primetime Local News. Trevor Beaton is joining me today. And a big announcement from Synergy Credit Union yesterday. Trevor is going to be the new CEO. So Trevor, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. My pleasure to be here this evening.
Well, let's talk about a little bit your history, Trevor, with the credit union. Tell me about how you started and how you kind of got to where you are now.
Yeah, no, sure. It started back in June of 1999. Russell Schemenauer, who's still our branch manager in Lashburn today, encouraged me to join. Member Care Financial was called on the well side back then, and my career progressed from there into a management role in '05 and a expanded management role in about 2012 when I took on the advisory area, not just wealth, but business banking as well. And in 2016, I took on the Chief Innovation and People Officer role that I have today for next 30 days, I guess, before I get to start my CEO role.
So what are your goals when you move into the CEO role?
Yeah, like for me, I make them fairly simple. One is take care of our members. Our challenge all the time is to try and create the best, most personalized, both human and digital experience for them. Take care of our team, because without their wellness and their ability to serve our members, we're not going to be successful. Our communities, we want to continue to persevere with our volunteerism, with our community donations, and the leadership that I think we provide as an organization to many of our community organizations throughout our branch network. And then lastly, to focus our attention on our really exciting potential merger with Connexus and Cornerstone and the stage gates that we have over the coming months around that.
Well, let's talk about that proposed merger.
Sure.
How is your role going to fit into all the discussions that are happening with that?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough with my current role to be part of those discussions in the Joint Partnership Committee back since July. So I have intimate knowledge of what we've been working through, what we've committing to as a group. So my role will be slightly different as the CEO compared to my strategic role that I have today. But with that, I would say very comfortable with what we've proposed and the values and the alignment with the team members and the partners that we've committed to be partnered with. We're doing this from a position of strength with two other very strong credit unions, and that gives me really a lot of excitement as to the potential that we can bring by bringing us all together.
So how will this transition happen now? I know that technically you take over the 1st of January, but is there some crossover happening over the next month or so?
Yeah, certainly. With me being from within the credit union itself, so Glenn and I have a lot of time booked together over the next month to dive a little deeper into what the CEO role is and some of the things that I may not be as familiar with in my current role. The nice part is I'm not new to this organization and well known here, I think well known in our community. So that part will be a little bit easier for me, but yeah, working through understanding a little bit more of the things that I may not be as familiar with as I need to be in the coming months. So having Glenn here is a blessing for me as we work through this next month and allow him and Jean to have a fantastic retirement.
So, how will things change once you become the CEO? Will the members notice anything different? Will the staff notice anything different? Or will there just be some minor things that you may do differently than Glenn had done?
Yeah, in lots of ways. I hope they don't feel a whole bunch different over the next little while. My intent isn't to try and create any material change over the next little while. We need to focus on our members and making sure that we're responsive to them in their needs and delivering the services that we need to, and as we work through this merger process. So that's enough change as we think through that and what that may be. And our teams, there is enough work in the background that some of our team members have to do around that and the due diligence and business case. So that'll be some of the focus now. But obviously a couple different faces here and there, but I don't think Glenn's isn't going far. He's staying in the community too, but that'll be my face will be a bit more prominent in a few things than it's otherwise been before.
Well, Trevor, thank you so much for joining me, and congratulations once again for the new CEO role of Synergy Credit Union effective January 1st. We're looking forward to chatting you and continuing our great relationship with Synergy as we go into the new year. So thank you once again for chatting with me, and best of luck in your new role.
Yes, thank you again for your support and appreciate this time. Thanks again.
Coming up after the break, our Lane Hoffert will have another look at our evening weather forecast.
Welcome back. Let's take one more look at your upcoming weekend weather. -22 right now in Lloydminster. That wind blowing at 9 kilometers an hour, making it feel a little more like -29. A cloudier night out in the border city right now. Taking a look around the region, you can see a little bit warmer around Alberta, central Alberta there. Jasper -4. Whitecourt and Edson both -18. Athabasca -19. Edmonton and Rocky Mountain House -16. Red Deer -17, and Cold Lake -21. Over in Saskatchewan, Meadow Lake -24, Prince Albert -22, Melfort and Saskatoon both -27, and North Battleford -25. Moving up north, Uranium City -22, Stony Rapids -17, Wollaston Lake -19, South End Reindeer -18, Flin Flon -16, La Loche and Buffalo Narrows both -22. Fort Chipewyan -25, Fort Chipewyan -26, Fort McMurray -25, High Level -24, Peace River -20, and Grand Prairie and Slave Lake both -19. Banff is -4, Calgary -16, Medicine Hat -15, Coronation and Lethbridge are both -18. Over in Saskatchewan, once again a little bit cooler. Kindersley and Swift Current -19, Moose Jaw, Regina -22, Yorkton -25, and Estevan -20. Tonight in Lloydminster, it's going to get down to -24. Very cold with snow accumulating about 1 to 3 centimeters. So just a thin layer on top of the dump we got last weekend. Taking a look at the travel forecast around the region, Meadow Lake is -28, Bonnyville and Provost both -23, Isle La Crosse -27, and Paradise Hill -26. More temperatures, Myrna -22, Pierceland -25, Unity -26, Wainwright -23, and Calgary -18. Looks like some snow could be in some of those areas. Now looking, tomorrow will be -19, Sunday -20, but then we start to see things warm up a little bit, and even those lower temperatures aren't going to dip as low as they will over the weekend. The coldest it's going to get will be Thursday at -13. So we definitely have a nice week to look forward to for sure there.
It is nice to see. It has been unbelievable, the cold stretch that we've had. So to see plus temperatures on the horizon is always a good sign to see.
That's right. A nice little light at the end of the tunnel there. Probably more tunnel, but I'm hoping there's more light
Eventually,
to break it up
yes.
throughout the winter. That always makes for a nice winter when we have those periods of nicer weather.
For sure. And that is all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great night.